Ladies and guys who want to learn to talk to women but are convinced that it's utterly impossible. Andy here, this is the Kill You and a Loser show. Let's fucking go. So I want to share with you guys a win, a victory that one of my coaching clients had just today. I was super excited to jump on this podcast and share what this guy has gone through. But before we do that, guess what I got? I got a fucking tattoo. You can kind of see it there. It's still wrapped in cling wrap. I'll show it on the screen right now. Those of you watching the video, I'll put it up on the screen. Super fucking happy with how it turned out. Obviously it's fresh, so it's still got to heal and stuff like that. It won't be as like dark and perfect and saturated once it's healed, but I'm super fucking excited about it. I've been wanting another set of tattoos for a long time. I've put it off forever, mostly because I've just been making excuses and not even scared. It's just like I kept telling myself it's not the right time. So whatever, I've got tattoos. Let's go. I've got plans for a bunch more, so I'm super excited. Anyway, back to this guy. We're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about this legend. So this is a guy that did, he's done 2 coaching calls with me now, and the most recent one was yesterday. And he's been getting a bit frustrated with Tinder. His pictures aren't anywhere near where they need to be, so he's not getting a ton of matches. He's having like a few matches and stuff, but he basically got to a point of frustration. And I've talked in the past about like Tinder burnout, and when your pictures aren't where they need to be and you're not getting enough matches, you can quickly get to a point where you get really fucking frustrated and almost like bitter at women. You start thinking like, this isn't fair. I've put in all this time. I've worked on my Tinder pictures. I've tried really hard and I'm not getting the matches. Like, how much effort does it take? How much money do I have to keep wasting on boosts and all that sort of stuff? And the first answer is obviously keep improving yourself, which is what I said to him and what he's working on. But the second answer, and I think this is something that I myself haven't pushed enough, and so it's something that I'm starting to push on people more, and I'm going to obviously start mentioning it in podcasts and stuff more. When Tinder's pissing you off, go outside and talk to girls. Like, yes, I'm the Tinder guy, I'm the Hinge guy, that's where the vast majority of my lays have come from, but there is an entire world of women out there waiting for you to go and talk to them. There are so many women that don't go on Tinder, that don't use online dating, that are single, that would love to meet you, love to have sex with you, love to be in a relationship with you, whatever you're looking for, and you'll never meet them through online dating. And so you're missing out on that opportunity, not to mention, a million other things that Cold Approach or Day Game has going for it. The women you meet will, generally speaking, be more attractive. Unless you have the world's most amazing pictures, the people that you meet in person, the girls that you sleep with, will be more attractive than what you can get on Tinder. It's almost like you get respect. You definitely do get respect from hitting on girls in person. Like, they will think that you have balls in a way that you don't get from meeting them on Tinder. They're like, holy shit, you actually came up to me, hit on me, asked for my phone number, had a date, we had a good time, we had sex. Like, you get massive balls for that. So, I could go on. There's a million other reasons why Cold Approach or Day Game, like talking to girls in person, let's just call it what it is, talking to women in person. There's a million reasons why that can be better than Tinder. As good as it's different from Tinder. Anyway, long story, I'm giving too much context here. So this guy, let's get to the exciting part. This guy was frustrated with Tinder. He uninstalled Tinder. And so I said, right, your mission, like what you came to me to help you with, is getting laid. If you're not going to use, every single time I do a podcast, I say that I'm going to put my phone on silent and then I don't. There we go. That's on silent now. Sorry about that, guys. Every single time... I've lost my train of thought. Anyway, I said to this guy, you came to me to get laid. That's what you told me you want. That's what you told me your mission is. If you've uninstalled Tinder, the only other option is you have to go outside and talk to girls. Can you go outside and talk to girls right now? Have you ever done it before? Have you ever hit on a girl in person before? And this guy said, no. You could see kind of the fear on his face as I said it to him. He said, no, I've never talked to a girl ever. So I said, right, your mission is... how much free time do you have today? He said, I got 6, 7, 8 hours or whatever after this call. And I was like, right, your mission, the second we finish this call, you have to go outside and you have to talk to one woman. One. You have to make it clear that you're hitting on her. You have to ask for her phone number. You have to make it happen. I don't care if it takes you 6 hours. It might. You've never done it before. You might walk around. I told him a couple of stories of I had many days where I would walk around for 4 hours, hating myself, being too scared to talk to women. The negative thoughts in my head, man, I'm a pussy. Why can't I do this? Why am I making such a big deal out of this? I just got to do it. And then finally, after 4 hours, I would do it. I told him I had a friend that wanted to learn to talk to women. I took this guy out. We walked around for like 2.5 hours before this guy finally, like pussying out on like 100 girls, before this guy finally talked to a chick and he's like, hey, what's up? You're cute, blah, blah, blah. So I said to this guy, I prepared him. I said, you've never done this before. You're most likely going to take some guys can just do it, sure. But most guys, it's something you've never done before. You're terrified. You've built it up into this big, scary thing. It's something that 99.999% of men will never do. Most guys don't hit on chicks that they don't know in public. Like, they just don't. So it's probably going to take you a few hours to actually go out and do it. It probably will. You probably walk around, you'll procrastinate, you'll fucking sit at home and jerk off to porn because you'll be too scared to actually leave the house. That's shit that I've done a million times. You'll go outside, you'll walk around for 3 hours, you'll fuck around. But can you do it? Like, if I give this to you, do you promise me that you will do it? And he said, like, yes. If you tell me, I think I can do this. And so I said, I love emotionally blackmailing my clients. It works. It's fucking hilarious, but it works. I say, right, if you don't do this, I'm refunding you for the next session, which you've already paid for, which will piss me off because I have to lose money. I need the money to pay the fucking bills. So you're hurting me, and I won't do the coaching. I will refuse to do coaching with you in the future if you don't do this. And obviously he said, shit, now I have to do it. And I was like, yeah, that's why I just said that, because we'll both be really pissed at you. You'll be pissed at yourself. I'll be fucking angry at you if you don't do this. So a bit of emotional blackmail, but that shit works. You guys would be surprised how often that works, like with coaching clients. Like, you guys will hit me up for coaching and I'll just blackmail the fuck out of you. And it works because it's like there's something on the line. Like, you don't want to piss me off. You don't want to let yourself down. Like, so you go and make it happen. Anyway, I'm going to read what this guy posted on my forums. On the forums, his name is Lord Ray, which, interesting name. So he says, Andy, he's posted on the forums. Andy, it took me a lot of time, but I finally did it. I understand now why you asked me if I had 5 to 6 hours of free time. What a fucking emotional roller coaster it was, as you anticipated. Yeah, like this shit, if you've never talked to girls before and you hit me up for coaching, I'll tell you right now, if you hit me up for coaching, I'm going to make you at least try and talk to girls. And some guys can't do it. They'll go outside, they'll walk around for 5 or 6 hours. They can't do it. That's fine. Then I will get you to do the Approach Anxiety program, the same program I did. It's completely free. It teaches you over about like a 2-month period how to talk to girls. You kind of start really low and you escalate up. You start by just walking up to girls and saying like, do you have the time? Can you give me directions? Like, easy shit. And then you eventually get to a point, you build up where you're actually saying like, yo, you're cute. I'm Andy. What are you up to? That kind of shit. So anyway, the point is, like, anyone who hits me up, I make them go out and at least try to talk to a girl. And so, super fucking proud of this guy. Anyway, so he says, I started by procrastinating, telling myself I have all the time to do it. Yeah. So that's another technique that I will use on coaching clients. I've done this to a bunch of people. I will set a stopwatch. Like, maybe we'll walk around for half an hour, either sometimes I do coaching in person. We'll walk around for like half an hour and the guy won't talk to any girls, or, he'll try and talk, but he'll get like halfway to walking to her, and then he'll come back and say, I can't do this. So after a certain amount of time, I will set an alarm or a stopwatch, and I'll say, you have 10 minutes. When that goes to 0, I'm out of here. Like, I'm not going to keep coaching you. This is a waste of my fucking time. Sometimes you have to be a bit cruel to be kind. When that gets to 0, you have to have fucking done it. And they'll see the stopwatch. They'll see it counting down. They'll keep procrastinating until finally it gets down to like 30 seconds left. And they'll go, fuck this. And they'll run over to a girl and just, awkwardly hit on her. Perfect. Awesome. Great. So if you guys are trying to talk to girls yourself, if you've never done it, or maybe you've done it a few times, but you're not super confident, set a stopwatch. Set an alarm for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and let it tick down. So use a stopwatch. And the closer it gets to 0, the more you'll find like, oh shit, I have to do this. So a bit of time pressure goes a long way. So I'll keep reading. So after a few missed opportunities, I started feeling the emotional roller coaster, starting between being hopeless, and I was almost crying in front of a mirror at one point, but then being so angry at myself for being such a pussy. Yeah, this is why this shit is hard, guys. Like, going outside and talking to women is not just... And I mean, I'm going to give full credit to this guy. He's a fucking trooper. I'm sure a lot of you are listening and thinking like, yeah, okay, I know what this feels like. This guy's a fucking legend. Spoiler alert, he ended up hitting on a girl. So I'll give you that spoiler alert now. But people think that hitting on women is just about hitting on women. They're like, oh, I could do that. You don't know how many times I've heard someone like minimize the act of going outside and hitting on women that you don't know. They'll say, I could do that. That's not that hard. Sure, I could do that. I could go and do that now. And then you'll say to these people, This is like friends I've hung out with and other people. You say, okay, go talk to that girl over there. You'll point to her, go talk to her. And they'll be like, oh, nah, I could. And you go, okay, we'll do it. Go. And they'll go, what, now? And you go, yes, go. And you wait. And every time there's some excuse or some fear that comes up, or it's usually like a rationalization, like, oh, she's with her friends, or she probably has a boyfriend, or she looks like she's in a hurry, or nah, I'm not wearing the best clothes right now. The point is, when you actually face the fear itself and actually try to do it in the moment, this is when the insecurities come out. This is when, like in this guy's case, as he said, the hopelessness comes out, where you're like, I can't do this. Like, I'll always be a pussy. All those negative thoughts come in. I will never be able to talk to women. I'm never going to have women like me. I'm always going to be a fucking loser that women ignore. Like, I'll never be any of these things. I can't do what, Andy and everyone else on the forums has done. That's not me. I'm a pussy. I had all these thoughts. I've had all these thoughts a billion times. I still have these thoughts about the goals that I'm working on now. I have these thoughts with money. I have these thoughts with coaching. Like, this is part of life. And you figure out, like that fear will be there by default. That fear will always be there. It's what you do in the face. It's that old cliche of like, it's not about, not feeling fear. It's about what you do in the face of fear. So full credit to this fucking guy. But this is what happens a lot of the time when you go out to talk to those first few girls. All the fears and insecurities come up. And that is why I've said a million times, and it's like the cliche at this point, this was never about hitting on women. This was about like the internal stuff. If it was just all you have to do is hit on women, it's like, fine, just walk over and say, hey, you're cute. I'm Andy. What are you up to today? That's easy. The hard part is like all the shit that comes up when you try. The feelings of like, this isn't me. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve this. Other people deserve happiness and the goals that they want, but not me. I'm not cool enough. I'm ugly. I'm too short. I'm not white. I'm too old. Like all of that shit comes up, and it's in facing those things that you become a man. It's not talking to the women. That's the easy bit. It's all the mental shit. So I'll keep reading. He goes on to say, in between, I saw the girl that I'm dating. So he's currently dating another chick. So he said, I saw, obviously open relationship. So he saw and said, trying to read what he wrote. So I saw the girl that I'm dating because she had asked me to give her a favor to drive her home from the train station. I'd already agreed since I was outside and very close anyway. Okay, so I bet she noticed that I was being weird, but she didn't ask any questions. So obviously at this point, he's tried to hit on girls for a couple of hours. Hasn't made it happen. He saw the girl that he's dating. So he says, then afterwards I went to the gym to check if I could do my approach there, but there was almost no one in the gym, not even one single girl. So at this point, I had a choice between either staying at the gym and giving up, which would disappoint Andy and this whole community, he means my forums, or either I go back outside and fucking approach any random girl before hitting the gym. Yeah, good. I'm glad he chose like to go outside, because too many times you think like it's too late. I got to go to the gym. It's over now. I've already failed. Like, what's the point? I'm glad this guy, you'll have those moments where you have a choice and you're like, I can either make excuses and go home or go to the gym or say it's too late or say, oh, I got to hang out with my friends, or, well, I got to go home and get an early night because I don't want to be out all night. Like whatever weird excuse. Or I can fucking do that one approach right now, which will take 2 minutes. You can't tell me, and this guy can't tell, he was self-aware enough to know. You can't just say, I don't have enough time. It's like it takes 2 minutes to talk to a girl. So he had that moment. He made that choice. I'm really fucking proud of him for making like this choice that he made. So he said, I thought about how shameful it would be to give up and how I wouldn't be able to deal with that. That's part of why I made him like put... That's why I said to him, if you don't do this, I won't coach you. And I wouldn't. I meant it. I would have been fucking angry at him because like I would like the money. I don't want to have to give back a decent chunk of money. So putting that kind of pressure on someone, it's almost like I have to perform. I have no choice now. It's like, this is live. This isn't a practice. This is like live. Other people, Andy will see me fail this, and I don't want to. So sometimes having an accountability partner, like that's part of why I think my coaching works so well, or really any coach, like any coach that you hit up, because they're keeping you accountable. Like you can't let them down. I have a bodybuilder coach right now who's, teaching me bodybuilding and helping me I can't skip my workouts. I can't skip. I wanted to go and eat junk food. And I thought about it. And if I wasn't paying this guy, I would have done it. I would have just gone and eaten whatever the fuck I wanted today. But I didn't, because it's like, he'll know. I have to tell him, how did your food go? Oh, well, actually, I ate some junk food today. And he'll be like, why? Like, why'd you do that? So having an accountability partner or a coach or someone that you're seeing, someone that can basically call you out if you don't do what you said you're going to do. I wouldn't have gotten to where I am now without accountability partners. I had friends, I had a couple of guys who were mentors to me. I wouldn't have gotten anywhere near as far as I have. I still have coaches right now. Obviously, I have a money coach. I have a coaching coach to teach me to be a better coach, and a bodybuilder coach. You need accountability partners. You need people, mentors, people that will kick your ass into gear if you don't do what you say you're going to do. So I'll keep reading. So he says he went outside and there was a girl checking her phone standing nearby. He said he passed in front of her without saying a word. He was feeling so terrible at that moment that he had tears in his eyes. Yeah, buddy, I've been there. Like, trust me, I've been there a lot of times. I took a couple of minutes to put myself together and go back to her, approach her. So she was already gone. Yeah, that sucks. We could talk. I should do more podcasts about the psychology of actually approaching. The bit that sucks the most is when you walk past a girl and you tell yourself, I'll do it in a minute. And you give yourself a couple of minutes to put yourself together, as this guy says. You know, you're trying to rev yourself up. You're trying to give yourself a pep talk and say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And then you go back and she's gone. Or you turn around and she's not there. And then you're like, for fuck's sakes. So this is why I the number one thing that I figured out that was beneficial for me is the second that I want to hit on a girl, no time wasting. I have to do it immediately because she might not be there. And then I have to live with that regret. And that regret pisses you off for like half an hour, sometimes a day. And you're like, why did I not do that? Whereas if you just go and do it, the worst that happens is you're a little bit awkward. You're a little bit cringeworthy. She thinks you're a little bit weird. She has a boyfriend. That's like the worst shit that happens. And that is nowhere near, I'm telling you, that is nowhere near. That's like a 1 out of 10 on the pain scale. That embarrassment of doing a bad job. That's 1 out of 10. Regret is like a 10 out of 10. You will always regret not hitting on a girl and it's too late and she's left, versus just having a shitty approach, or you're a little bit awkward, or you're a bit weird, or she thinks you're fucking strange, or you forget your own name, which I did one time, by the way. So I'll keep reading. So he's missed this girl. He goes on to say, then I went walking around randomly and I crossed the path of a small and very cute redhead with a pierced nose. I fucking love redheads, by the way. It's probably incest because I'm a ginger myself, but whatever. Redheads are my thing. And small chicks as well. Short chicks are absolutely my thing. So this guy's already fucking, I'm semi-hard even just reading this story. I'm fucking, getting a chub right now. So he says, hey, hello. Sorry to stop you in your momentum. I just wanted to tell you that I think you're cute. Awesome. Perfect. That's all you really need to say. Like, you don't really need to say anything amazing. You don't have to have some smooth line. Just get the point across. I said to this guy, so this is another thing I said on the coaching call when we were talking about it. I said, you have two goals. You have to make it clear you're hitting on her. Like, you're not trying to be her friend or ask for directions. Like, make it apparent that you are hitting on her and ask for her phone number. Those are the only two things that you have to do. That's what I call an approach. And so it doesn't matter, because he said, like, how do I do it? Like, what do I say? I was like, I don't give a fuck what you say. Why would I give a fuck what you say? Say whatever the fuck you want. But just make it clear that you're hitting on her and ask her for her phone number. That's it. And like, you don't need some smooth line. I can give you lines if you want. If you guys want lines, just walk up and say, hey, I know this is random. I thought you were cute. I wanted to say hi. My name is Andy. Put your hand out, shake her hand. What are you up to today? Got any plans for the weekend? Do you work? Do you study? Are you homeless? Like, just ask random shit like that. Small talk for a minute. Hey, you seem cool. We should grab a drink. What's your phone number? Like, that's it. That's all you really fucking need. So, super proud of this guy for doing this. I'll keep reading. He said she didn't give me the time to ask for her phone number. She quickly replied, thank you, have a nice evening. So obviously he was probably nervous, and that happens sometimes. You'll say the first bit, you'll hit on her, you'll say like, hey, I thought you're cute. And then, she'll be like, oh, thank you. And then you'll be like trying to, in your head, think like, what do I say next? How do I ask for her phone number? And then she's like, anyway, so thank you, bye. And she'll walk off, because you were standing there like, I don't know if he did do this, but like, I had plenty of approaches where I'd stand there in silence for like 5 seconds trying to think what to say next. And then she'd just be like, anyway, so bye. And she'd like walk off, and then I'd be like, fuck, I was supposed to ask for her number, but I'm nervous and retarded. Like, it really doesn't matter. This shit, you don't have to be smooth with your shit. You really don't. So it's a pity he didn't ask for her phone number, because I did say that's kind of a requirement of hitting on her. But whatever. Like, for the first fucking time, I give this guy full fucking balls. He walked up. He said, "You're cute." He said the right shit. Good shit. So she left, and then he yelled after her, like, "Thanks, you're cute too," or whatever. Like, you enjoy it, whatever. He yelled something at her. So he said, "This was so fucking awkward." Yeah, man. Of course this shit's awkward. Like, he's never approached a girl before. Like, that's how this goes. How awkward do you guys think it was? You guys wouldn't... I bet you 99.9% of you... Because we're all in our own head. So I bet you 99.9% of you wouldn't have thought about me and the first, like, couple of podcasts that I did. Do you know how fucking awkward it was? Like, the first time I sat down in front of, like, this fucking microphone. It wasn't this exact microphone, but in front of a microphone and did a podcast. Like... Go back and listen to the first... I did a fucking Reacts video where I listened to my first podcast. I listened to it with Imogen, my girlfriend. We both went through it, and we were like, this is cringeworthily bad. I just sound so awkward and nervous, and like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You can even... If we fast forward 2 years, this podcast right now will be a heap of shit compared to where I'll be in 2 years. This is awkward as fuck compared to where I'll be in the future. So don't think that the first couple of times you do something are going to be smooth. That's almost impossible. I don't know how you ever do a good job of something the first couple of times you do it. I am yet to meet someone who can do a good job of anything the first time they do it. Like, it just doesn't happen. That's why my biggest philosophy is give yourself permission to suck. Tell yourself, it's okay, I'm going to suck. I'm going to be awkward the first couple of girls that I hit on, the first couple of podcasts I do. It's going to be fucking cringeworthy. It's going to be terrible. So I'll keep reading what he said. This was so fucking awkward. Then I felt a bit of relief since I did approach a girl. Yeah, but I didn't ask for her number. So was that enough? ? Yeah, of course it was. Next time, obviously, ask for her phone number. But it sounds like he tried to, but she just, either he started or he took too long or she walked off or whatever. So, but it sounds like his intention was to. So obviously next time, yes, ask every girl. I've mentioned a million times to you guys, ask every single woman you hit on for her phone number. 100% of the time. 100% of the time. Unless she says, I have a boyfriend, I'm not interested, fine. Then just say, like, no worries, like, enjoy the rest of your day. See ya, it was cool meeting you, all the best. Like, but every girl that doesn't tell you she has a boyfriend, ask for her phone number. Even if you think it's going badly, even if you think she's not into you, even if you think this is so awkward and cringeworthy and I'm doing a bad job and she's clearly not interested, ask for her phone number. I've slept with girls where I was convinced that they were not into me. Because I was like, they're not saying anything. They're not looking at me. They're looking away. They're giving me one-word answers to every question I ask. I'm carrying on 99.9% of the conversation. She's clearly not into me. But I had built a habit of asking every single girl for a phone number, and I never made an exception to that. Ever. I ask every single girl for a phone number, ever. Always. I've never missed one, apart from the ones who have a boyfriend, right? And I've slept with girls like that. They'll give me the phone number, I'll text them, and I'll think, she's not going to fucking reply to this. Like, that was the worst approach ever. And she'll be like, yeah, it was nice to meet you. And I'll be like, are you free Friday night at 6 p.m. to grab a drink? And she'll be like, yeah, sure, that sounds nice. And I'll be like, she's not going to show up, surely. That was like the worst approach. She said like 3 words during the entire approach. You'll meet, and I will even ask them sometimes. I'll say, I didn't actually think you were going to show up. I didn't even think you were going to give me your phone number. You didn't seem into me. And every single time they will say, I'm sorry, I was really shy. I was just really nervous. I was really scared. You walked up to me in public. I'd never met you before. I don't know you. You're a stranger and you hit on me. Why would I be chatty? Like, why the fuck would I be chatty? Obviously, they don't say why the fuck would I be chatty, but like, why would they be chatty? Where are we? I've just closed the fucking window. Let me open that back up again. Okay, so I'll keep reading. So he says, I feel that it would have been inappropriate to ask for her number after that awkward moment, as she was already walking away, showing me clearly that she wasn't interested. But I'll let Andy judge if that was enough or not. So in moments like this, what I'll say to this guy, and any of you listening, the first like 30 approaches you do, you're going to do a terrible job. You are. You're going to overanalyze everything. You're going to be awkward. You're not going to know when she's not interested or when she is. You're not going to know like what's appropriate, like when to ask for her phone number, when you shouldn't. You're just going to like, because you're trying to think on the fly, and you're not prepared for all the situations because you haven't done it before. The only way that you get smooth, so to speak, or decent at talking to women is by talking to women, by talking to a lot of women. Talk to 100 women, and the answer to this question would reveal itself. I don't know because I wasn't there, but if I had to guess, if it was me, a girl wouldn't start walking away from me. I mean, that just wouldn't really happen because I have presence, I have confidence, I'm funny, I'm smiling, it's confidence really more than anything else. I'm like captivating, so to speak. Like, why would she start walking away? Sometimes girls walk away because you're shy, because you're quiet, because you're nervous, because of all this. So that's something that just gets better the more you do it. I can't make you be confident. You just have to talk to more women and you will become confident. It's confidence is earned. It's not something you just are or something you do. You have to fucking earn it. You have to earn your stripes. So with this guy in particular, could he have like run after her and asked for her phone number? Yeah, I've like chased after girls all the time. Like a million times, of course. Like, could he have just jogged after her and be like, hey, wait. Sorry, I was nervous. I forgot to ask. Can I get your phone number? Like, you're really cute. Can we grab a drink? Maybe she would have said yes. Maybe she wouldn't. Who fucking knows? Like, I can't predict the future. So should he have done it? Yeah, sure. But should he beat himself up for it? Fuck no. Like, how's he going to know that he should have run after her? How's he going to be confident enough to ask for her phone number? It's the first time he's ever talked to a girl. So that's what I mean. The first like 50 approaches you do will be messy. They'll be awkward. You'll be cringe-worthily nervous. You'll just do a piss poor job. You will. But all that you really need to focus on is, at least I'm doing it. I'm trying to get across that I'm hitting on her, either by telling her she's cute, making it obvious that I think she's attractive or something like that. You can even literally say, I'm hitting on you if you want. I've said that to like a lot of girls when they're like a little clueless. Like, you can tell some girls you'll hit on and they're so like caught up in their own head at that point because you're a stranger, remember. You've just walked up to them on the street and told them they're cute. They're like, wait, what the fuck is this? Like, not everyone is prepared to get hit on. And so sometimes they just look confused and they're like, and I'll be like, I'm hitting on you. And I'll smile. And then at that point, they'll kind of relax and be like, oh, okay, sorry. I'm just really nervous. So as long as you make it clear that you're hitting on her and ask for a phone number, which he didn't do here, fine, that's fine. Not every approach is going to be perfect. Make it clear you're hitting on them. Ask for their phone number. That's an approach. That's all you really need to do. Anything else is just filler. You can add in some small talk if you want. I never talk for more than like a couple of minutes, and like a minute or two, really, honestly, unless I'm like really connecting with her and like we're just having a kick-ass conversation and something. So he says, after that, I went to the gym. Now I'm writing all these lines while I'm doing some cardio. Thanks for reading. Yeah, fucking awesome. So this guy, like, huge fucking props to this guy. Massive pair of balls on this guy. I posted in his log on my forums and said, I can't even begin to tell you how proud I am of you, especially because you struggled for hours and didn't quit. And that's the point here. That's what I said to him beforehand. You guys right now, if you want to go out and talk to women and you're thinking, I think I can do it, but I'm not sure, give yourself like a ridiculous amount of time. Like this guy, I said, go out for like 6 or 8 hours. Like, have a break, have a lunch break, fine. Like, but be out trying to talk to a woman for 6 to 8 hours. Because sometimes it might take that. If you've never done it before, you might go out and talk to the first woman you see. I've seen that plenty of times, like plenty of times. But you might also walk around, if you have the personality type of like me or what, like this guy, where you're like a deep thinker rather than like someone who can just be impulsive and just do it. If you're a deep thinker, you might walk around and try it, and then you can't do it because you're scared, and you might start thinking like, what does this mean? Is there something wrong with me? Am I retarded? Will girls never like me? Like, you might start thinking, I'm putting on a patronizing voice there, but these are all the thoughts that I had and that I had to work through, and this guy had to work through. That's why you need several hours to start working through that shit, to get like this guy did. He talked about he was going to cry a couple of times. God knows I've had many days like that where I did fucking cry in public. You might need to process that shit and get to a point like he did where you get frustrated and you have that choice and you're like, I can either go to the gym and keep procrastinating, or I can go outside and fucking do it right now. And he got to that point of frustration, and then look what he did. He missed one girl and then he talked to the next girl, right? It might take you several hours. So just like I said to this guy, put aside like 6, 7, 8 hours, however long you possibly can. Do it over a whole weekend. Go out and try and talk to your first woman if you've never done it before. And I have complete faith that every single guy can do it if he gives himself enough time. And like I said to this guy, doesn't quit. If you just stay out until fucking midnight or something, start at like 8 in the morning, stay out till midnight. I guarantee you'll talk to a girl. And if you can't, Go out again the next day and try again. If you still can't after like 2 or 3 days of trying, fine. Like, do the Approach Anxiety program. I'll leave a link in the description below to that program. I did it myself. Maybe I'll leave a link. I might actually leave a link to my log. I kept a log. I did videos and talked about what I was going through and all that. Maybe I'll link to that instead of the program, because you can read that, and that also links to the program. Like I said, it's completely free. So I'll read the rest of what I said to him on my forums. I said, "You're now a guy who can hit on girls. You did this once. You can do it again. Go out and practice more. Get more phone numbers. Keep pushing. The world is your playground. I'm looking forward to our next coaching call." So now he's taught himself that he can do it once. And that's why I'm encouraging you guys listening. If you've never gone and talked to a woman, this is the challenge for this podcast. Go outside and try. It might take you 6 hours. You might do it in the first 20 minutes. Like I said, I've seen that happen a million times. Go out there and try. Try a second time. I promise you, this guy can do it. I could do it. A million other people that I've seen can do it. It seems like a scary thing when you first start, but then when you actually do it, like, you're talking to her, she's smiling, she's reacting well, you're like, oh my God, this is nice. Why did I think this was scary? Like, yes, it's terrifying the first like 50 times you do it, but maybe the first 20 times you do it. But this is nice. Like, talking to a woman, seeing her happy that you gave her a compliment, happy that you're talking to her, it's like it imbues you with this energy that you don't get from anything else. It's like you're connecting with another human being. You're putting yourself out there and being vulnerable and sharing with her and telling her that you think she's cute or attractive or hot or whatever you want to say. And she's giving you something back and saying, "Thank you, I appreciate that. That's really nice." Some girls will even say, "You're cute too." And then you're like, "Oh my God, I'm in heaven." You start like, you gotta like fan yourself because you just can't handle it. So guys, go out there, give it a go, try. I promise you can do it. And if you can't, like, there's a backup plan. I tried and I couldn't do it. I tried for a week and I could only do one approach in that week. And yeah, I was proud of myself for doing one. But then I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to do the Approach Anxiety program. I did that for 2 months. Got to a point where I could talk to women. You know, there's other options. Don't beat yourself up if you can't do it. But I promise if you go out and try, a lot of you are going to be surprised by the fact that you're like, I expect to see comments down below of this video or this podcast, or email me if you want to. I expect you guys to be telling me like, yeah, I went out, I tried, it took me like 3 hours. I talked to a girl. Oh my God, I've never done it before. I just did it. Oh my God, I'm proud of myself. Like, I expect to see some comments like that. I think you guys are going to be surprised by what you can achieve if you just try. It's not this impossible thing. You don't have to be like a fucking player or this like amazing person. Like, any random guy can go out and talk to random girls on the street or in a grocery store or on the fucking train or something. So start a conversation with a girl. Tell her you think she's cute. Tell her you like her fucking hair or something. Tell her that you think she has lovely elbows or some shit, and ask for her phone number. Actually, leave a comment if anyone does that. If anyone tells a girl that she has lovely elbows and gets a phone number, I'll give you fucking a high five. There you go. And after all that, if you like this story, if you think that my coaching is for you, and, you know, like I help this guy, if you think I can help you, I have group coaching, I have one-on-one coaching, I have a big fucking all-in coaching package, you know, super premium package as well if you want that, where it's like 12 weeks of me kicking your fucking ass, being your goddamn cheerleader. That's available. I'll leave links in the description below to all of that shit. And as I end every video, go outside and crush your goals.